Thank you, Oliver. Before we start our Cha presentations, first of all, I want everyone to know we are live streaming tonight. We're very tech-oriented tonight, so hopefully all the technology will work in our favor. You know how that goes. And this is a presentation format that seARTS tried a number of years ago. So it's Cha, if you don't know how to pronounce that, is something that started in Japan. It's 20 by 20 seconds per slide and 20 slides per presenter. So you really have to tell your story very quickly, no time to get bored. And we have actually 7 presenters and 6 presentations in that format. And then at the end, I'm going to do a tribute to Mari, one of our most prolific jewelry designers on K-Band, a goldsmith from Manchester by the Sea, who recently passed away, and it's just so appropriate to honor her here tonight. I don't know if her family members are here, but we will do our best to honor her even if they aren't here, because it's well deserved. So anyway, we are streaming on Facebook Live, and also we sent out a link for people that couldn't make it tonight to just click directly on Vimeo. So if you get the seARTS blast, if you have it on your phone, you can forward it if you want anybody to listen in that couldn't be here. And then afterward, we will have a video of the event that is going to be done by Andrew Castro, who's here from Streamography. So welcome, Andrew, who's in the corner. So our presenters tonight, I will be the first. I'm not going to introduce myself. Martha was my backup because I just drove 8 hours from Buffalo. So in case for some reason I didn't make it, she was going to be my backup tonight. Her bio is in here. She's been the curator of our runway events. So thank you, Martha, for almost backing me up tonight. We have, after I speak, we'll have Queen Alate Papoa. She's a fashion designer and fiber artist, born and raised in Accra, Ghana. She studied in Manchester in the United Kingdom and came to Boston and went to Mass Art. She lives in Littleton, Mass. Queen won the Student Innovation Award at the 2017 Celebrate Wearable Art Show. She was also part of our April event we did at the Castle Manor Inn during Art Week. Her creations are at the intersection of the environment, sustainability, and empowerment. Her fashion brand is Queen Adeline, which features a line of ready-to-wear custom pieces incorporating 100% cotton, African wax print textiles, and other biodegradable fiber sourced from Ghana. So Queen is here. You might want to stand, Queen, and just everybody knows who you are. Linda Stockman, she's been the graphic designer. She's a fabulous graphic designer for seARTS. You'll see some of her work tonight for many of our events, and particularly for Wearable Art, almost exclusively. But the one thing that we're going to learn about Linda tonight is her work in costume design. She's been an art director and a designer for many, many years, and involved with seARTS as a volunteer. And really, her work has been part of DNA. And I'm really excited to see the work she's done in the community for the schools with her costumes. And we're going to learn a lot about that tonight in the presentation. Linda, please stand. Linda also, by the way, did all the work to put these presentations together. And it's a lot of work. So thank you for that, too. Ava Camacho Sanchez is not here, but we will see her presentation. And Ann Lee, the author of the book on wearable art, in my opinion, the book on wearable art, Ann will be actually giving Ava's presentation for her. She had a sick child, and then she got sick, and we all know that story. But Anna is a fiber artist, born and raised in Andalusia, Spain, now living in Western Mass. Her work fuses the ancient art of felt making with modern techniques using 100% natural and biodegradable materials, with an emphasis on low environmental impact and creative processes such as reduced water consumption. Although she is devoted to felt, Ava is equally intrigued by other media, fibers, and fabrics. So thank you to her for sending along her work, even though she couldn't be here. And Beth Williams, well known to everybody in this neighborhood, glass bead maker and jeweler. Beth has been a jewelry maker for 35 years. She's a co-founder of our Wearable Art Group. Her pieces are handmade with flame-worked glass and precious metals. She creates contemporary, elegant jewelry that balances the varied materials, resulting in unique pieces that the owner can wear with comfort and pleasure. I'm wearing her earrings tonight. It's tough. I had to wear Beth's earrings, I had to wear Barbara Poole's tunic, I had to wear my earpiece. Anyway, Jen Grief, fashion and costume designer based out of Gloucester, Mass, participated in all the seARTS Celebrate Wearable Art events since its inception in 2011 and shared Best of Show in 2017 for our Wearable Art Awards. Her look Paved Paradise was the co-winner. Jen strives to tell the story with her love of history, character, and wearable art. Jen and Catherine Hooper, curator and choreographer of Bosoma, will share the unique collaboration that grew out of Jen's look from Celebrate Wearable Art. So if I could ask Jen, Catherine, and Beth to all stand. Okay, so they will finish off, and then I will do the Mari tribute. So I think with Courtney's help, we'll get started, and I'm on the hot seat first. And it is a hot seat. Are you ready? As ready as I'm going to be. Okay, so it was the seed of an idea. Back in 2006, a group that grew out of a luncheon with Kathy McCarthy of London Ventures in Rockport. And from that first get-together, we designed a salon called Local Gems to celebrate the variety of jewelers inspired by their surroundings on Cape Ann. The uber-talented Claire Sanford led the way, and we had a jewelry exhibit in the room, but we didn't sell. So we wanted to sell, so what next? So where could we go? How could we be part of a bigger event? And we tied ourselves into the Middle Street Walk during the holidays in 2007. And at this little event, we sold $6,000 worth of jewelry in a weekend. So we were really excited, and we kept going. So in the summer of 2008, I believe, we attempted, believe it or not, to help transform the Sidewalk Bazaar into an art show. And, well, that didn't go so well. We had a lot of fun. Anyway, I wanted to point out that our posters have really led the way to tell our wearable art story, and a special thanks to Linda Stockman, who started us with Local Gems and stuck with us through most of our shows. There's one or two in here by other art graphic designers. We snuck one in from Judy Cox and another one from Edie Friedman along the way. But thank you to Linda. Our collaboration continued, now with the Sawyer Free Library, which opened up the beautiful Saunders House for us during the Middle Street Walk. We needed more space. Here we were able to accommodate about 15 to 17 different artists. We became a Wearable Art Group. So here we are in 2011, celebrating our 5th year as a group. And this was a group dress, actually. This was the first look out for the Red Show in 2011. And honestly, we had no idea what we were doing in 2011. We went with it, and we invited people up from Boston, like Charlotte Weber, who had these beautiful lichen dresses, and models that were over 6 foot tall. And they completely took over the Bass Rocks Golf Club. And the fun was just beginning at this show. We absolutely had created a monster. And so this was a 5-year point in history. We, at that point now, turned into selling around the room with the runway show in the middle. Here's our beautiful Gail McCarthy, I want to point out, wearing the Mari Rose, which was one of the pieces in that very first show. So only appropriate to show it tonight. So we did this event specifically during Boston Fashion Week. We started with many collaborations to get off the ground. Our group began to bond. As you can see, this was the group of folks that had put books on the runway that very first year, again with Mari in the center. We celebrated people that had been already in wearable art long before we came along, like Mari, like Beth, like Kathy at London Ventures, and others who helped us get off the ground. So in our second show, we moved because we kept growing, we moved to Cruiseport, Gloucester. These are some of the looks that came out of that show. Phenomenal looks, a pencil shaving dress by a young student from Manchester by the Sea. and the other look was from Sage Floral Design. So in 10 years, that was 5 years, so now 10 years, we actually started another salon. This was at the Gloucester House to celebrate. And this is where we extended our collaboration. We brought back Claire Sanford for this. We brought in the MFA. We brought in other key groups that we knew needed to be part of our efforts. Fiber Art Now magazine, for example. These are some of our wonderful attendees. The woman on the right is Barbara Poole. I'm wearing one of her felt tunics. Paula Richter was involved in this event as well from the PBD Essex Museum. So now we're moving on quickly to 2017. Again, we raised the bar. We brought in our wonderful Martha Suchak to be our curator. We learned that we didn't need to be on the runway for 2.5 hours. We could actually do this in less than an hour. And we're still learning all the time. That was Camilla McFadden's look, and that was Rick Prangle's look. So now we are back to our salon in September of 2017, right here in this room, a very special year, 2017, when we were part of the World of Wearable Art sort of aura, I would say, from the PBD Essex Museum. We were able to have them here in September at the end to help talk about their experience with the World of Wearable Art show and expand. Here we are with our beautiful posters again. Just to put it out here, our very first show, we didn't really know what to put on the poster, so we put Hans Punt's beautiful Julie sculpture, which we felt was sort of a good generic representation. But now we have beautiful work that we can put on our posters. Here are co-winners from the 2017 show. Jen Greig's look, Paved Paradise. Eileen Mueller's beautiful look, Garden Glow. I mean, really and truly raised the bar again with these looks. Not only that, but we continued to make more money. And we made money in different ways. Because we have to remember this was all about not just making the art, but also selling the art. And here is some of our fabulous local models that were involved in our silent auction. And that was one of the many things that we tried to raise funds for seARTS and also help sell the work. Now we're at our salon in 2018, which I haven't had a chance to tell you all the names, but last year was the transformative power of wearable art. Prior to that, it was expressions on the human form. And our goal is to really help people understand how wearable art fits into the bigger story of the art world. And this is another photograph from last year's salon with the Charles Hopkinson painting upstairs behind it. And you can really see here how closely wearable art ties into visual art. I just love this photograph with Camilla McFadden and Eileen Mueller and their pieces from the 2017 show. And I think, you know, this was our very, very last event, which was actually, tonight, by the way, is our 19th Wearable Art event. And in these last 13 years, we've sold over $140,000 worth of wearable art with our group. So we're definitely at a crossroad. We're going to keep moving forward. We're looking at the future. Thank you very much.